Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type a question to our presenters at any time. Your microphone and camera are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions where you signed up for this one. And then this session is being recorded and will be available within about a week and can also be found at the same place where you signed up for this session. And with that, I will turn it over to our first presenter, University of Strathclyde.
Thanks very much. I'll just share my screen and hope everyone can see that. Bear with me. Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name's Melissa Cunningham, and I am the Senior International Recruitment Officer here at the University of Strathclyde. You can probably tell from my accent that I am in the UK and we are based in Scotland. So just to give you a quick overview then of our university. So we are located in Glasgow, which is the biggest city in Scotland. There's lots to do in Glasgow as well. So we're a small country, Scotland. We're about 5.3 million population, and in Glasgow itself, it's roughly 1 million. And as I said, there's lots to do. So whether you're interested in music, arts, theatre, lots of different culture, there's loads that you can get involved in as a student. We do have a really large international diverse student population in Glasgow. We have 6 universities located in and around the city. We are known as a friendly nation, and certainly Glasgow has been voted a few times by Rough Guides over the past few years as the friendliest city in the world. So we are very welcoming. We love to have a chat. We love to find out all about our new international students coming to Scotland and coming to Glasgow as well. Very easy for you to travel to get to Glasgow. We do have an international airport, which is 20 minutes outside of the city, and you can connect through London as well. Glasgow is only an hour flight from London. Just some photos as well. You can see some really nice parts of the city. Very old style architecture as well, a lot of Gothic buildings. We're showcasing some museums here in the photos, as well as that the kind of funky spaceship is actually one of the world's biggest concert venues. That's a photo down at the bottom right hand corner there. And we do have a lot of lovely green spaces as well in Glasgow, lots of parks and lots of places for you to meet up with friends, to relax, chat. So the city centre itself then, the University of Strathclyde's campus is self-contained, so we are right bang in the centre of the downtown area. Glasgow is a very walkable city. We are about maybe a 5-10 minute walk from the nearest bus and train stations as well. So really lots of easy transportation for you to go and visit other towns and cities, not just in Scotland, but also the wider UK as well. A nice bird's eye view here of campus. So you can see this is the heart of the campus here. Quite a mix of different style buildings as well. Over the past 10 years, we have ploughed just over £1 billion and completely renovating our campus. So you will see lots of new state-of-the-art facilities as well. And one of which is our science facility. You can see here this nice new building right across from our student housing. So student housing is right in the heart of the campus as well. So the University of Strathclyde itself, we are quite an old institution. We were founded at the end of the 18th century. We are a school of 23,000 students, 15,000 undergraduate students, and we have students coming from all over the world, from over 100 different countries. We've won many, many awards over the past couple of years, one of which is the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year. just a couple of years ago. And we're the only university in the UK to have won that award twice. And we've climbed up the rankings in the UK as well. So we're up to 15th now in the Guardian University Guest ranking. Some really nice links that we do have to the US. So we do welcome over 100 students each year from the US to study undergraduate, master's, PhD and exchange. Our founder, John Anderson, was actually a good friend of Benjamin Franklin, and he used to accompany Benjamin Franklin on visits to Scotland. And quite an interesting fact which I just found out recently. So the University of Glasgow, one of their graduates was actually the first Scottish-born player to play for the NFL. So that's pretty cool. We do have a number of partnerships as well with other institutions, with NASA, with NYU, with Yale. So we really are well connected to our friends in the US. A little bit about undergraduate study in Scotland, and I know that we do have different institutions from around the UK here on this session as well, and they'll be able to tell you a little bit about the different structure between England and Scotland. In Scotland, it's a 4-year degree programme, and there's lots of flexibility and breadth of study. Certainly at Strathclyde, you can pick and choose lots of different subjects in your first and second year of study before you decide what you want to major in. We have more than 200 degree course combinations as well at Strathclyde. Just an example here as well of the different subjects. For humanities or liberal arts, you can choose 3 subjects in the first year, and you can decide what you want to major in, whether that's double or single majors in your third and final 4th year. The application process is pretty simple. You can apply through UCAS or you can apply online. And I'll just wrap up here as well. We are test optional. Lots of information is found on our US webpage as well. So please feel free. If you do have questions, there is a chat at the end of this, I think, as well. Thanks very much for listening to me.
Thank you. Our next presenter is University of Melbourne.
Okay, good day, everyone. I'm Todd St. Vrain from the University of Melbourne, and based in San Francisco. And I think we're the only Australian university here tonight. Great to be with you. So welcome to UniMelb, or Wominjeka, as we say in the local Aboriginal language. So Melbourne is a large public research-intensive university located in the southern part of Australia. Now, this is the beautiful Great Barrier Reef, which is about a 4-hour flight north of Melbourne. And imagine taking classes with Madeleine Van Appel, who is bioengineering heat-resistant coral in an effort to save the Great Barrier Reef. This is just one example of the academic experience you can have at a university that is regarded as a leading Australian and also global university. This is our main campus, which is right in the heart of Melbourne, which is about 15 minutes from downtown, and we're in between the Melbourne Biomedical Precinct and our version of Little Italy. So what I love about Melbourne and Australia is that it's a very multicultural country, and that coming to study is truly to be a global citizen, and that the 40% of our student body is from around the world, including several hundred Americans who join us every year. We have great outcomes for our graduates, and interesting to note that all international students can stay and work in Australia for 2 years after graduation, which just gives you options as to where you might be able to start your career. Now, our degrees are just 3 years, and that's standard in Australia, and that's a savings in itself. But at the current exchange rate, your annual tuition is going to come out to be to just under 30,000 US dollars. We'd estimate probably another 20,000 US for living expenses, and you can use US student loans at University of Melbourne. Admissions is going to be based just on your academic achievement, and we'll get into details of that in just a moment. And you're doing all of this in one of the cities that is truly one of the most livable places in the world. So we have 8 degrees, but over 150 majors, and this might be in agriculture. We call what we call liberal arts and humanities in the US as our Bachelor of Arts, and I've highlighted some popular majors here: biomedicine, we call business commerce. There's design, fine arts, music, and a plethora in science, including IT and engineering. So if you'd like to know more about what you could study, just go to our Find a Course page. Degrees are called courses in Australia. So if your interest might be in more than one major or in more than one degree. Now, our curriculum is just 3 years, but we have these things called breadth subjects. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to explore your options, declare a major. You could also extend to a 4th year, whether that's through what we call a concurrent diploma or an optional year of honors research. So if you're coming from the US with a US high school diploma, it's guaranteed entry for international students if you have a minimum SAT or ACT, an unweighted GPA, and prerequisites of AP exams with a score of 3 or higher. And these entry requirements vary slightly per degree. Now, we are not test optional, but we are a test alternative in that if you can't present an SAT or ACT, you can either sit the Australian STAT test, which is a test you can do online, or an aggregate score of your AP exams. If you're not having AP exams, really the only option is to present a university college level course, such as a dual credit for evaluation. We also take the IB as a way of entry, and also for any transfer students, it's really straightforward with just a 3.0 GPA. Now it's different down under. This week is actually the first week of semester 1. Semester 2 starts in late July. Coming from the States, you could actually start in either semester because we offer the core classes in each semester. The borders do remain closed to Australia during the pandemic. So if you're a senior, if you were starting this July, that would be online, but we are hopeful that the borders will be opening up in 2022. We offer rolling admissions. Our dates are probably a bit weird to you, so my advice is just to apply when you're applying to universities in the US. Any Australians out there, and how and when you apply is a bit different, and we're happy to guide you through that process. We do offer guaranteed accommodation. We call the dorms colleges to confuse you, or student apartments. Of course, there's clubs and societies on campus as part of uni experience. And again, just a brief campus tour, lots of beautiful sandstone historic buildings and wide open spaces with modern labs and facilities. Everyone loves our car park because it was in things like Mad Max. And so you never know what's going on campus and who you'll meet. And you're doing all of this in Melbourne. This is, again, downtown Melbourne. This classic Melbourne of laneways with funky cafes, music. It's a city of art. Sport, just had the Open, the Aussie Rules football, and easy access to some really stunning nature. So I'm in San Francisco, so please get into contact if you'd like to follow up for more information. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is University of Essex.
Thank you very much. Hopefully everyone can see my screen there. I see some nods. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, or good morning from where we are in the UK. My name is Tim. I'm the International Officer for North America at the University of Essex. So I thought it would be worthwhile starting to discuss a few points about why you should choose England as a study destination. I know we have another English university here today, as well as some wonderful universities from Scotland. So in terms of English universities, slightly different from Scotland in that our bachelor's degree generally are 3 years in duration. There are a few exceptions to this, some courses in pharmacy or medicine slightly longer, or similarly, if you do an integrated master's, it will be a 4-year degree. But we have this early degree specialism, meaning that a bachelor's degree generally can be done in 3 years, and master's courses can be done in 1, meaning that in 4 years, you'll be able to gain a master's degree in the same space that it would take you to complete an undergrad in the US. The UK, or England in general, is a very affordable place to study, and certainly can be seen as comparative to study in the US. Our tuition fees at the University of Essex are between 20,000 to 30,000 US per year. Further to that, we offer a wide range of international scholarships. We accept US loans, and we also accept veterans benefits. Applications can be made via UCAS. So in the UK, we have sort of a common application system, which will allow you to apply for 5 university choices. Some institutions in England are also available on the Common App. When you come on a student visa, it's no longer the Tier 4 student visa, it's the graduate route, but it would allow you to work whilst you're studying on or off campus for 20 hours per week whilst you're studying, and then during the holidays you can work for however long that you want. And one of the more exciting bits of news that has come out over the last couple of years is that we are introducing a post-study work visa, which will allow for you to stay and live and work in the UK for 2 years after you have graduated. So if you wanted to gain some work experience in the UK, or if you wanted to develop an English accent, you would be able to do so. My next slide is on why US students choose Essex. We're very lucky at the University of Essex to have a number of wonderful US students come to study at us each year. So typically we'll have around 100 US students studying at undergraduate and master's level. We've got 3 very large, vibrant campuses, all within an hour of London. We're particularly famous for our acting school. So our acting school is called East 15. It's ranked #1 for drama in the UK, and it's the only non-American school in the world to be recognized by IRTA. So they audition in more normal times every year in Los Angeles and New York, and is a very popular choice for US students. We've also got a very strong reputation in the field of social science, particularly in the field of human rights, international humanitarian law, politics, and international relations. So we currently rank 29th in the world for politics and international studies, and we have a wide and sports scholarships available. So in true 6x6 form, I thought I would have 6 slides or 6 points for why students should choose Essex. One being our location. I mean, the UK itself is very small, but Essex itself is the county which is neighbours to the east of London. So all 3 of our campuses are well within an hour. Our largest campus, the Colchester campus, is 45 minutes from London by train. Colchester itself is the UK's oldest recorded town. So when the Romans came over to the UK, they landed in Colchester. It actually once was the UK's capital a very long time ago. And our campuses are a mix of beaches. We're very close to, obviously, the City of London. Our Colchester campus is between 2 towns, but there's some very nice countryside not too far away either. Another point would be our academic teaching. So we've got the highest teaching rating of gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework in the UK, so that's the highest one that universities can obtain. Very strong reputation in the field of social sciences, but we have well over 200 undergraduate programs for students to choose from. And if you would like to find out further information, I'd thoroughly encourage you to get in touch, and I'll be able to tell you all about our programs. Third would be our student life. So we have a very active and very socially conscious student union on our campus. Our student body tends to be very sort of politically motivated. We've got a very large, vibrant campus community. So we have theatres, we have a cinema, we've got our sport arena, which is home to our volleyball and basketball teams, which are 2 of the leaders in the UK. Well over 20 restaurants and bars and clubs. We've got a gym, a climbing wall, a frisbee golf course, and there's plenty going on campus. Students get guaranteed accommodation at the University of Essex, and one of the plus points of studying in the UK is that students generally get their own room. And yeah, we're 7th in the UK for spend on services and facilities per student. 4th is cost effective. I touched on this earlier. So degrees generally are 3 years in duration. We've got very competitive fee structure, particularly in comparison to studying out of state or at private institutions in the US. We have our Americas Regional Scholarship, which is for £3,000 off the course fee, available to both undergraduate and postgraduate students. A number of sports scholarships, particularly in the field of basketball and volleyball. We also have an IB Excellence Scholarship for £2,000 for students who have an IB score of 34 and above. Fifth is employability. So around 91% of our undergraduate students are in employment or further study post-graduation. We build in employability modules into our undergraduate degrees, and many of our undergraduate degrees offer the opportunity to spend a year in industry. So we've had students work at Microsoft and IBM and UNICEF and a wide range of fantastic international organizations. We've got an excellent careers service based on campus, so the university certainly takes care of your professional development as well as your academic and social development. Finally is our global community, and this is the thing that I really love about working at the International Office at the University of Essex. We've got one of the most international communities in the UK. It's around 40% of our students come from outside of the UK, including our students from North America, but also South America, South and East Asia. We have a number of students from Europe as well, which really adds to a global community on campus and an enriching learning experience among ideas from all over the world. That's everything from myself. I would thoroughly encourage you to get in touch if you have any other questions, and then I will pass on to our next presenter.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is University of Southampton.
Hi, thank you very much for joining us today. I will share my screen. Yeah, can everybody see? Okay, so we'll talk to you a little bit about the University of Southampton, and my name is Cecilia. I'm the International Officer for the Americas, and I would like to start my presentation by talking about what would you want to study in the UK. Something that I really appreciate about UK higher education is that there's lots of options. We have over 200 universities offering over 50,000 courses. The quality of the institutions are internationally recognized. If you Google top 10 programs in your area, I can assure you there's going to be at least one British university. Also, it's very research-led education. We don't have a quota system in terms of admissions. It's a very multicultural environment, and there's a lot of focus on independent study and critical thinking. For the University of Southampton, we're really very happy founding members of the Russell Group universities and the Worldwide Universities Network. We have over 7,000 international students coming from 135 countries. We were ranked in the top 20 universities in the UK, and we were ranked 90th this year in the top 100 universities worldwide according to the QS rankings. We're also ranked 8th in the UK because of our research intensity. We are located in the south of England. We're just over an hour and 20 minutes from London. We're about 4 hours from Manchester, 3 hours from Wales, 8 hours from Edinburgh. We have a direct bus from our campus to Heathrow and a direct train to Gatwick, which are the two main airports in London. So I mentioned before that we have 7,000 international students. We have in total around 26,000 students at the university overall. I would dare to say, yeah, around 7,000 are international students, and we're very happy to say that because our environment is very diverse, and that's, I think, one of our best assets. We cover lots of different areas. All of our engineering programs are in the top 10. We cover ocean and earth sciences, computer sciences, electronics, literature, English, music, medicine, health sciences, graphic arts, fashion, design. We do not cover architecture, dentistry, veterinary, and interior design. Everything else, I think we do cover. So we are leading experts in lots of different areas, including now with COVID. We are leading experts as well in the testing side of COVID. We have a cancer research center as well that we've been leading in the UK for the last 4 years. We do drone technology, how to make internet faster, cracking cyber crimes. We are leading experts as well in eye tracking insights. So I think it's very interesting as well. We have 7 different campuses, including one in Malaysia. We have Highfield campus, which is our main campus, and we have the walk-in distance Boulderwood campus, which is our engineering campus. We have a teaching hospital. We have the National Oceanography Center in Southampton. We do a lot of research in marine biology. We have Avani campus, which is home of to our humanities subjects. And then we have the Winchester School of Art, which is based in Winchester, around 25 minutes from Southampton. And as I mentioned, the one in Malaysia. Accommodation is guaranteed for all of our international students. We have a separate undergraduate and postgraduate specific halls. They're all there's bus pass already included in the fees of the residence halls that will link you to all of the campus from the university. Just want to show you a picture from our lovely campus. So within our campus, you can find our student union has lots of clubs and societies. We have bars, we have cafes, a doctor's office, banks, shops, a sports center, swimming pool, a climbing wall, an art gallery, theater, concert hall. So pretty much you can find anything you need in our campus. So we are very excited because we are the top universities we're in the top 3 university for spin-out companies. And we're also very proud of our Future Worlds Accelerator, Startup Accelerator. We've helped over 40 new companies to be created from ideas from our students. We also have a career and employability service center. So if you're looking to get some internships or more working experience, our university has a center just dedicated to help our students get a position or some working experience in one of the industries that we have links with. So our students usually do part of their either research projects or internships are these companies, and within 85% of our graduates find a job in 6 months after they graduate. So accommodation, as mentioned, is guaranteed as long as they apply by August the 1st, if they're starting their courses in September. These are just some of our pictures of our residences. We have City Gateway, we have Mayflower, which is right in the city center, Wessex Lane. Also wanted to briefly talk about our student union. We do lots of activities such as the Indian Society. We do lots of different activities around our campus to welcome our students and engage in social activities as well. So we have over 300 clubs and societies if you're interested in sports or art or dancing, or maybe learn more about veganism or any kind of sport. I can assure you that at least we'll have one of the clubs or societies that you might be interested in. So our year is usually divided by 2 semesters. We have around 8 modules per year. Usually it's around 10 to 18 hours of contact time a week. There's a lot of independent studying. You would need to write a dissertation or a thesis at the final year. You will have optional modules that you can choose from, and you will have mandatory courses. But overall, it's flexible in terms that you can choose the specialty that you want to achieve. Tuition fees can vary from 18,000 to 22,000 a year, except for medicine, which is 23,000. In the first year, we do have some scholarships and some grants available for students from the US. I mentioned before that we have a career destination center. We run workshops such as how to write your CV, how to write your cover letter, finding your why. We do have a database of vacancies from all the organizations and companies that we work with. If you were interested in getting some more advice on how to apply to these companies.
Hi, Cecilia, I do need to jump in and move to the next person.
Okay.
If you have a final slide you want to pull up, you can do that.
Yes. Well, Well, in case you have any questions, can you see it?
We can't see it. If you want to put it in the chat, that would work too.
Yeah, will do.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Thank you. And our next presenter is University of Stirling, Scotland.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Easton and I look after all of our students applying from the US and Canada to Stirling. Hopefully you can now see my presentation. I'm not quite sure though, but we're just gonna go for it. So you might be able to tell from my accent, I do sound a little bit different than Melissa. We are located in central Scotland, but I'm originally from Southern California. So, yep. So Stirling is right in between Glasgow and Edinburgh. So it's really centrally located. 35 minutes to Glasgow, 45 minutes to Edinburgh, which you'll find kind of two of our main cities. But we like to say we're right in the heart. We're the gateway to the Highlands, and it means we have a very beautiful campus. We've been voted first in the UK, top 5 in the world for our campus environment. 330 acres, which sounds really big, but you can see there we've situated all of our buildings around our loch. We also find that we have a castle on campus, a castle in Stirling, woodland area, a hill range, and also a golf course. And the university itself was founded in 1967, so it is one of the older of the new universities that we have in Scotland. It's about a medium-sized university, 14,000 students, but 20% of our population is international. Another thing that we like to let you know is we are one of the safest student cities in the UK. And I definitely found that coming from Southern California. It was such a friendly, safe environment that I felt really comfortable there as soon as I arrived. We do 4-year bachelor's degrees. We've got our 5 faculties, so arts and humanities, health science and sport, natural sciences, social sciences, and our Stirling Management School. Stirling Management School is the only one that's not a faculty, and that's just because of different rankings and accreditations. It hasn't changed over the years as the university has evolved, so it's still called our Stirling Management School. Very much a liberal arts model though, in that you can take classes across faculties. Don't have general eds, but we do have electives that you take in your first 2 years of study. So they can be across any of those 5 faculties. We are now test optional for US students, so we are looking for a 3.0 unweighted GPA, but if you are submitting tests, we still are accepting ACT, SAT, or 2 AP tests if you have taken them. And we always look at your academic reference and your personal statement in addition to your transcripts. We have 3 options to apply to us. We are on UCAS, which is our main kind of application system used in the UK, but we are also on Common App. And then if you know that Stirling is your only option in the UK, we're also happy to take a direct application from you. Overall, though, we are offering scholarships to undergraduate students applying from international destinations, and that's a £2,000 scholarship per year, up to 4 years of study. So you should expect that every year of your bachelor's. We're also on financial aid, so if you are looking to use FAFSA or a private loan like Sallie Mae, or even the GI Bill, we're able to accept that. We are the University of Sporting Excellence for Scotland, and we're also voted the University Sport for the year in 2020. So we do offer various sport scholarships if you play sport at a very high level. Overall though, our tuition fees really range from about £15,000 to just under £18,000, depending what you're doing. But we do have that scholarship I mentioned, and also Stirling, because we aren't in a big city, is one of the most affordable kind of cities for students to live. No matter where you go in the UK though, with your student visa, you can work 20 hours per week if you are looking to have some pocket money. But we normally see students spending about £9,000 to £10,000 per year. Accommodation, I think it's been mentioned a few times. We do have apartment style living. We all have single bedrooms at Stirling, so you never have to share your bedroom with anyone. Depending on how much you're looking to spend though, we do offer private ensuite. So if you wanted to have your own bathroom facilities, you can opt for that. But it's 24-hour, 7 days a week, staff support. We do have RAs, we call them accommodation liaison students. And we do have the option to live on campus or off campus. Stirling itself is only about 2 miles from the campus, so you kind of have the best of both worlds in that you're well linked to the city, you're well linked to the big cities, but you have this nice, beautiful campus that's very much styled on a North American experience. I'm always happy to get in touch, so please do take note of my email if you have any questions. But I would say, just as a summary, Stirling is a very friendly place. It is the place where you would go see people wear Stirling hoodies and everyone kind of knows each other, says hi as they cross campus. And that's something you'll kind of feel, is that sense of community as soon as you arrive. But we really have everything you need, from a movie theater to our kind of walk around the loch, but you'll also find home comforts like Starbucks and Krispy Kreme. But with that, I'll just say thank you very much, and we'll finish up there.
Thank you so much. Okay, if all of our reps would come back on the screen, we're just going to do a quick round table here. If you could all just, we'll go in the same order as of presenting. If you could just maybe say one thing about advice you'd give someone going through the college search process.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe just finding out what the best fit is for you. I think there are so many wonderful universities across the world, you know, as you have heard from this session. So I think it is just doing your own research, chatting to your parents, your guardians, any friends, anyone that you know who's maybe gone to that country to study as well. And really just finding out a little bit more about the country that you want to go to, the institution that you want to go to, the subject area that you're really interested in as well. Don't forget, lots of institutions will have similar subjects, and you maybe want to think a bit broader as well as to where you're going to thrive in terms of location. So yeah, take your time to do your research. It is a huge investment, obviously financially, personally as well, and you want to make sure that you do have the right fit for yourself.
I'll just add on to that. So, you know, when I was a senior in high school, I was really overwhelmed with all the choice. So if that's you, don't worry, you'll figure it out. I think if you're thinking especially about overseas universities, since you might not be able to physically get there, take advantage now that we have developed resources like doing a virtual tour, or, you know, we put on panel sessions with current students, you know, just so that you can get kind of that little bit more information to kind of get a feel for what the university that you're considering is like.
Thanks both. Yeah, I'd say, well, I'd echo both of those sentiments, to be honest. And I think one of the really important things is speaking to current students from your home country who've been through the process. I think most universities will have something available on their web pages where students will be able to interact with current students, because whilst these sessions are really great and informative, it's no real substitute, I think, for speaking with someone, you know, who's been through the experience sort of themselves. Similarly, yeah, getting to know the application process, particularly for international students, is something which might take a while. There's some huge differences, I think, in applications for US colleges as opposed to applying towards the UK, and so getting to know, yeah, the process, how to put together an application and a personal statement, how sort of grades focused perhaps overseas universities are, is super important. So yeah, just becoming informed, I think. I think Amy might be gone.
Is it me now? I would say if you're just starting out the process and you have an idea of what you want to study, but just don't know maybe more than a couple of universities that are in the UK, the UCAS website is actually a really great source, not only to get further information about the application process and what UK universities are looking for in terms of like a personal statement, but it's actually a great source to look at what schools offer what you want to study. So there's only so many schools that have medicine. There's only so many schools that might have a fine art program. And you can search for that on UCAS and kind of narrow down what universities actually have what you're interested in studying. So I would say have a look at that website earlier than just going to using it to apply to the UK, would be my piece of advice.
And then just very quick, if you each want to share just one, either favorite tradition on campus or a fun fact.
Yeah, so one tradition, one recent tradition that I can think about at the moment is that Scotland celebrates in January, at the end of January, it's National Poet Robert or Rabbie Burns, as we call him. So we do often, certainly pre-COVID, we would often host some on-campus events, which include a ceilidh, which if you haven't heard of that, it's a Gaelic term, and it's a traditional Scottish dance. So that's always fun for lots of our international students to gather and do that. And if any of you don't know what haggis is, definitely Google it, because that in January you tend to have what's called haggis neeps and tatties, which is a tradition. And our student unions as well, they for international students, they for Robert Burns Night, they tend to organise a lot of cool things for that.
Okay, so at University of Melbourne, again, behind me is the entrance to the underground car park, where you can see if they're filming Mad Max or doing, an episode of MasterChef. A new tradition is that we now have a welcoming ceremony for all of the new students, and as you come out of it and head to the food trucks, everyone gets a UniMelb hoodie, which is really popular and exciting.
From the University of Essex, my favourite thing about it, I think, is our campus cat. So we've got a very famous cat called Pebbles. He is, I think, one of the most followed campus cats in the UK. If you look him up on Facebook, I think it's around 9,000 followers. He is the grumpiest cat that I've ever met, but he's sort of been adopted by our student body. He was a local cat, and he decided that he was getting fed a lot more on campus, so he decided to live there instead, and we've sort of adopted him as our sort of unofficial mascot, and he's worked his way into one of our marketing materials.
I'm gonna have to go find Pebbles the cat on Instagram now. That's amazing. Melissa's actually stolen mine. We also have a Burns night that I normally is my go-to, but I actually say something that probably most universities will have in the UK, and that's Freshers Week. So in your first week of term, in both like September and in January, schools will put on events to get you orientated to the university, and it'll be things from like, we have like a sports day where you can go meet representatives from every single sports team that we have and sign up to take part in any sports team that you're interested in, to give it a go. We also do that for clubs and societies, so you can meet a representative from every single club and society that we have on campus on another day. But we'll also have things like magicians, or we have like bands that come and play, and we have like a different social event every single night. My favorite part is though, you get like free pizza. Domino's comes and gives free pizza to everyone, and like coupons for the year. So I like all the freebies that you get, but literally there's something from like 9 o'clock to about 1 a.m. every single day that first week of class. And so that's really fun and really welcoming when you first get here.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing that. And thank you everyone for joining us. When this window closes, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate your feedback. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so please do sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this recording where you signed up for this session. So thank you. Thank you to our hosts or to our facilitators, and have a wonderful evening.